What's up, Buzznet? In reference to the podcast here, I'm Amanda.
I'm Heather. Welcome back.
Yeah. Still looking for Loch Ness. It's been about
5 minutes.
Took a quick pause so that I could try to make sure I say these names right. I will say that this is a semi-local case for us. It's something, when it happened, I couldn't actually watch about because it's quite disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. It's really sad. And I was also not living as close to where this took place then. Yeah. So this is the Greensburg Six, or known as the murder of Jennifer Doherty. So let's jump in. At any time, if you have a lighthearted story to tell, please feel free because
jump in.
Or at least save it for the end, because if this is the last episode we're gonna record tonight, we might need to watch an episode of Jeopardy before we go to bed.
I don't want to see those people again.
We're currently watching season 29 of Jeopardy on Netflix.
What is it?
The championship finals? I don't know.
The something of champions.
Yeah. And
we hate every person that wins.
Yeah, we just don't like anyone on there. Okay, so anyway, Jennifer Doherty was a 30-year-old mentally disabled woman who was murdered by 6 people in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. I literally have, this one is a little horrific and pretty close to home, so I'm sorry for that. I also wrote, it's still a case that's going on as well. There was an appeal that was just settled this month, which is November of 2018. I also, just looked to see what month and time it was. And there's another case that will be heard, another appeal to be heard in the summer of 2019. So, there are 6 people that were involved in this. Robert Masters Jr., who is 36. Ricky Smirnes? I literally just looked this up. Simmerns, yeah. He was 23. He is 23. Let me put it that way. Melvin Knight, who is 20. Peggy Miller, who is 27. Amber Medinger, who is 20. And Angela Marinucci, who is 17.
Oh, so these are like young kids. Not like young, but younger.
Yes, and Jennifer was 30. She would be almost 40 next year. Yeah.
So this happened
This happened in 2010. Okay. In February of 2010. So the murderers are known as the Greensburg Six. Masters and Marinucci were both who I got this testimony from. They both testified, said they didn't do it for a plea deal. At least one of them said that. Oh, no, let me rephrase that. Medinger did not do it for the plea deal. Masters did. He testified in court for 2 hours about the murder in gruesome detail. Because of this, he reached a plea deal and avoided the death penalty. So the accounts I could find, I found most of this from the Trib Live and probably KDKA. Shout out to them because I like KDKA. And fun fact, KDKA is the only news station east of the Mississippi that starts with a K because they were the first. Boom. Everybody else starts with a W. I don't remember why, but I do know that.
Good to know.
And if I'm wrong, don't correct me. Okay.
I'm just going to assume I'm right.
I mean, I am right, so. Okay, so the accounts I could find said that... See, I already forget how to say his name. So his first name's Ricky. We'll just go with that. That Ricky and Angela were seeing each other. Angela was the 17-year-old. Ricky was 23. Don't condone.
Neither does Brody.
No, he's groaning about it down there. Snoring. So they were seeing each other, but Ricky may have been seeing Jennifer as well behind Angela's back. There was another person who said that he was with Ricky and that Angela overheard a conversation between Ricky and Jennifer, and Angela said she was, quote, going to kill that bitch. Medinger said that she and Melvin Knight met Ricky after being in a homeless shelter, and he invited them to stay with him, where Miller and Masters also lived, and because he was seeing a 17-year-old, she frequented the house. She was linked sexually with him. Jennifer was also there when they met and went to the house with them. Once there, the Six started to bully Jennifer. Remember, her parents said she had the mind of a teenager. They took her purse and stole her money and gift cards, as well as her cell phone. They then hit her over the head with filled soda bottles, cut her hair, and painted her face with red nail polish. If that wasn't enough, they also dumped liquid and spices over her head. If that wasn't enough, Medinger testified that she and Marinucci took turns violently punching Jennifer with a metal towel rack. Jennifer was then stripped naked and hid in an attic while someone visited the home. And Medinger then testified that she walked in on Knight, who had moved Jennifer to a bedroom and was holding her down with a sock in her mouth and raping her. Ricky then called the first of 4 quote-unquote family meetings to decide how to deal with Jennifer before the group went to sleep. The next morning, Jennifer tried to escape before she was stopped and punished. The group hit her with several items. This is so disgusting. Then forced her to drink 3 different concoctions that contained urine, feces, bleach, cigarette ash, and crushed pills. The group met again then and voted to kill Jennifer. Okay. Medinger testified that Ricky and Melvin tied Jennifer up with Christmas lights, and they were plugged in, and Angela was mad because they didn't blink.
Really?
Yeah, it gets worse. She then said, quote, Jennifer was tied up to look like a Christmas tree. Ricky gave his steak knife to Melvin, who asked if Jennifer was ready to die, then repeatedly stabbed her in the side and chest and slashed her throat. Ricky was given a knife and continued to attack her. I don't remember how many times I saw that she was stabbed, but it was a lot. And Robert testified at one point that she still wasn't dead after they stabbed her. And so somebody said, we'll just break her neck. And he then heard bones breaking. But I didn't, at least in Medinger's testimony, she didn't say that. So it was then decided to discard Jennifer in a trash can. They had her tied up with Christmas lights and garland, I believe. They put her in a trash can and left her at Greensburg Salem Middle School in the parking lot to be discovered. She had a black bag over her feet and another bag over her head. Another jail inmate testified that Angela said she was mad the Christmas lights didn't blink and weren't battery operated, so they couldn't be on when they dumped her body.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So, talk about sentencing. Robert Masters, who had a plea deal, he avoided the death penalty. He will be in jail for 30 to 70 years. Ricky Smirnis? I don't know.
Let me see how it's spelled.
It's S-M-I-R-N-I-S. Rnes.
Simmons.
Yeah, something like that. Who was 23, got the death penalty. Melvin Knight, who was 20, also got the death penalty. Both of them appealed, and Ricky's was upheld, and then Melvin's went to a jury, and they again decided to put him to death. Peggy Miller, who was 27, got 35 to 74 years, which...
That's a big span of a difference.
Well, and they're all that way. They're all like 40 years, but why not 75 years? Like, that's just weird to me. Amber Menninger, who I don't think the death penalty was on the table for her, got 40 to 80 years. And then Angela Marinucci, who was 17, has been sentenced to life twice. The first time it was overturned as unconstitutional, so she was sentenced again by, I believe, a Greensburg judge. The Greensburg judge said no, she deserves.
Yeah, like you're old enough to know like murder's wrong.
Yeah, and so she's currently pending a new trial, because the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has overturned her sentence since she was a minor when the crime was committed. They keep saying it's unconstitutional. No offense, Angela.
You should know better.
I don't think it's unconstitutional. I'm very against that being overturned. There was an account from a jail inmate who said that after her first trial, Angela came back and was like, I'm going to be on TV, and like jumping up and down about it. Found out this inmate had been in a mental institution before, a mental hospital, and asked her, well, how do I act crazy so that they go easier on me? Like, you know you're responsible. Like, I just...
And for one, you don't ask about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna come back to haunt you.
Yeah. I read somewhere, too, and I couldn't find the article that I read it from again, that she was the one who really lured Jennifer into coming back to the house. Like, obviously, Menninger said that they were both...
Was it premeditated? Like, they were planning on killing her?
I don't know. It didn't really say it was premeditated, but... Like... I mean, she did say she was gonna, quote, kill that bitch. So...
Are there any of them that actually have, like the death penalty has been done?
No. I think they're all still pending. Because, I mean, they're gonna appeal them.
If this was Texas, they wouldn't know.
Well, unfortunately, we don't live in Texas. So. Or unfortunately, this didn't take place.
They'd be done already.
Yeah, so that was the Greensburg Six. Happened in 2010. Was really big news. It was really sad news.
I feel like I do remember hearing about it.
I mean, it was all over the news. I'm pretty sure it made national news.
Yeah.
At that point.
Here's some news.
Oh, sorry, Siri. I don't want news. Siri doesn't listen to me any other time, but... One time... This is a funny story. One time we were driving through D.C. and we were talking about all-time low because that's literally what we do in our free time. And all of a sudden my Google Maps said, I can't find Jack. And we were like...
Thanks, Siri. We didn't ask, but thanks for looking.
Yeah, it was... I guess it wasn't that funny. I guess it was you had to be there moment.
You had to be in the car.
Yeah. But... Yeah.
Do you want to hear a couple puns to make you laugh?
Yeah, because I almost cried reading that.
Or maybe, like, some of them are, like, I guess,
Can
jokes.
you tell the airplane joke?
But I forget. How does it go?
We want low-flying airplanes. When do we want them?
Meow.
That was a really short airplane ride.
How do turtles communicate with each other?
How?
With shell phones.
I didn't like that one. You didn't get me to laugh there.
Let's see here.
If this was a try not to laugh challenge, I would have won. Why don't you tell your stupid cashew joke?
That's for another time.
Hate that joke.
You can't know that one's coming. You just gotta wait for it.
Literally, I didn't laugh at it the first time. I just laughed at the fact that you were crying over it and then looked at me and said, "Do you get it?"
I went to see the Liberty Bell the other day.
Yeah.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
I hate you. We have seen the Liberty Bell. It was not all it was cracked up to be.
It was not. I like the one in that library that you were allowed to hit.
I don't remember that.
They gave you that big, like, mallet and you get a bing.
Where was that?
And that little, like, it was like a thing that had, like, the weird little mouse. It was when we went and saw All Time Low in Allentown.
Oh.
Not like the actual Liberty Bell.
I'm like, where in Philly did we go?
We did not.
We did. But you might.
But you might. What do you call someone who tells too many dinosaur jokes?
Heather.
No. A dino bore.
Heather?
What kind of tea did the American colonists want? Liberty.
These are terrible.
Did you hear about the negative Nelly who hates German sausage?
No.
He always fears the worst.
None will be as good as... I went to the zoo the other day, and there was only one animal. It was a Shih Tzu. That's a classic knee slapper.
What do you call a goat that acts immaturely?
What?
A silly Billy.
What do you call... Oh, what was it? I forget. Maybe what do you call a potato wearing glasses?
What do you call a potato wearing glasses?
A spectator? Time Hop told me that joke. P.S. I'm on 2 years now.
I like bowling.
Yeah?
Seriously, it's right up my alley.
I fucking hate you. Alright, one more.
Alright, let me see if we...
I don't know what time we're at. I can't see that.
There's gotta be a good one. Oh, I went to the costume party as a turtle.
Were you turtly enough for the turtle club?
I had a shell of a time.
Alright. Well, on that note, still no Twitter because it's the same night. Maybe by the time this is posted, we'll have a Twitter.
Maybe.
Rob's not.
If Amanda makes one, we'll have a Twitter because...
Yeah, Heather's not going to make it. In reference to podcast on Instagram or Brody the Shepherd Mix, but if you're going to slide into our DMs, do it on the podcast Instagram. Unless you're McDonald's. Brody's willing to model for you so that I can get free Diet Coke. Or if you're Diet Coke. I mean, if you're Diet Coke, too, we'll take that
But
deal.
only out of, like, a fountain Diet Coke.
Well, no, I drink cans here.
But I feel like it's better out of the fountain.
Oh, it's for sure is better
Just
from...
Send her a fountain with regular and Diet Coke.
Oh, God, that's like my dream. Oh, could you imagine? I would be so much fatter than
You'd
I
become
am.
diabetic, probably.
I would definitely have... What is that? Aspartame? Aspartame? Is that what it is? Poisoning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this sugar from diet soda?
Yeah. I already think I have that. I mean...
You drink it enough.
You know, the other day I pulled into McDonald's and said, fuck my 70s.
Yep. I actually got a sweet tea from there the other day, and then I forgot that I got sweet tea and thought it was Coke.
Oh, that's...
Man, was that a shock when I took a drink out of it.
I've had that... Don't you remember me telling you that story? I was driving and I was like, oh, I'm going to get a Diet Coke. I drove like 25 minutes to get this stupid Diet Coke from my boyfriend's house.
You didn't get a Diet Coke?
No, they gave me a fucking sweet tea. They don't even come out of the same damn machine.
They're not even near each other.
No. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not perfect. But like...
I could see like ordering Diet and getting a regular.
Right.
Even like a Sprite.
Yeah.
But
and I would have been happy with a Sprite.
The person either in front of or behind you
also got pissed off because they got the wrong drink. Yeah. Listen, I think y'all should be paid more. I'm not saying anything against y'all. Just
read the screens.
Don't give me sweet tea. I don't drink tea.
Oh, sweet tea is the best. Especially McDonald's. It's like liquid Coke. It's so good.
Have you done liquid Coke?
Yeah, sweet tea. No, the best was one of my coworkers. His mom made sweet tea, and it was like a gallon. She put 4 cups of sugar in it.
That sounds like diabetes in it.
I took a sip of it, and I was awake.
I'm sure. Also, we're not making fun of diabetes. Both of our parents have it. We both have a parent that has it.
Yes.
It's a real crisis in America. I'm going to solve it by mentioning it on my podcast. Okay. On that note, good night, America.
We'll find Loch Ness next time.
All right.